Welcome to our Team 360 call. Today is Monday, August 17th, and tonight I'm going to talk with you guys about recruiting for the coach opportunity. So, really, I think a lot of times people get kind of like scared to invite people. They think, oh, nobody's going to want to join me. In all actuality, people usually are just waiting for you to ask, or they just don't have the belief in themselves yet. But once they hear that you believe in them and you think they would make a good coach, then they usually want to give it a try. So don't ever count anyone out is my first point. Always, always invite. If you think someone would be good, even if it's an instinct, even if it, seems out of character for them, invite them and just say, hey, I don't know if you would be interested, but I think this would be a great opportunity. And I think you'd be awesome to have on my team. What I will do is I will post a document with invites for you. Jenny Hobbs actually was kind enough to type up and document with a bunch of sample invites for the coach opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and post those after this call so you can use those and just use those. Tweak them to be personal to you, but really just use them, keep it simple, and just invite people. We start our coach open house tomorrow, August 18th, and it's going to be 5 days. I'm going to add some of Keith Callahan's podcast into it. He has a podcast and he does What is Beachbody Coaching, and his podcasts are awesome. And they really explain what a coach does and what a coach is. And I think those will be a great addition to the open house. So you'll notice that the open house will be a little bit different this time. So I'd love to hear your feedback once we're done with the 5 days to see how you think it went for you and your people you invited. So how do you invite people? Like, who do you invite? First, what you want to do is look at your challenge groups. Who is posting in your challenge groups? Who is having success in your challenge groups? Who is a big fan of Shakeology and can't live without it? I mean, how many times do you see people post in your challenge group that, oh my gosh, I love Shakeology, I can't live a day without it? Those are the people you want to invite. You want to get those people on your team because they love Shakeology. And what is this business built on? It's built on being a product of the product and loving the products. It's not a money-making scheme or anything like that. It's really about us as coaches having the passion to help other people get healthy and fit and meet their goals. So when you find someone who has had a transformation or is in the process of a transformation, invite them to join your team if you want to work with them. Just ask them if they would be interested in checking out what coaching is all about. And you can add them to the open house. So those are people you want to add. The second would be doing an opportunity. Yes. One second here. I'm getting a little feedback. So I'm going to go ahead and mute a couple of lines. Sorry, guys. All right. There we go. Do an opportunity post. You want to make sure that you want to, invite people. Post on your Facebook, say, hey, and I'll do a sample for you guys so you can kind of see, but just say, hey, what has Beachbody done for you? So I know that Gina posted in our team page that she was able to pay for her daughter's private school an entire year because of Beachbody. So those are kind of the things you share. Misty Jackman got to go on an incredible vacation. She shared that. And it doesn't even have to be big. Like, you covered your Shakeology. You were able to, I know Shelly shared one time that she was able to put her son in sports, which was something she couldn't do before Beachbody. But with the extra money she had from Beachbody, she was able to put him in football and buy all his equipment. And kids sports are not cheap. I have 3 kids doing different activities, and seriously, it's insane how much those things cost these days. So parents are looking for other opportunities. So just kind of share how it's changed your life. I think it was Lori did a post today about her Challenger and how they're just having great success, her and her husband. Those are things people want to see. So you can do an opportunity post. And then the people that like and comment on it, those are people you want to send messages to. And so if they liked it, they obviously saw it. So send a message to them and just see how they're doing and if they'd be interested in coaching. The third way to recruit coaches is cold invites. I know nobody likes it, but here's the deal. Write out what characteristics you want out of your coaches. Who do you want to be on your team? What do you want to see in them? Do you want somebody, are you thinking that you want people that are self-driven, self-motivated? Do you want people that are similar to you? And really think about the type of people you want to work with and who you work best with. And write out the names that come to your mind. I like to set a timer because you guys know me and my timers. I set a timer on my phone and I will write out the first people that come to my mind and then I will approach them. And what's always funny is they're usually like, yeah, I have been thinking about that. I'm so glad you asked. Or I've been wondering what coaching is, or do you really think I would make a good coach? Usually they've already been thinking about it. And by me contacting them, it's just that extra step that they're like, yeah, I would love to do it, because they weren't sure that I would want them on my team. And they just were waiting to be invited. Other people may not be ready yet. Like I had a girl today that I think will make an amazing coach, but she's just not ready. And I respect that. I'll follow up and check in with her when she's ready, but I have planted the seed. She's still, she's like, I would love to, but I just know that right now I'm not ready. And that's totally fine. But in the future, when she decides she's ready, she's going to come to me and be like, I'm ready, let's go. So you may be planting seeds. You may have people that are going to tell you, no, it's not the right time. But most of the time, people are very flattered. So make sure you, don't feel bad about doing cold invites. Just don't do them like, hey, I think you would be awesome for this Beachbody opportunity. Here's a link to my website. Do not do that. Send one of the invites that I post up. You want to make it personal and relational, but you also don't want to give them a ton of information that's going to make their head spin. So it's just really about inviting people. I always just say, hey, hey, Sarah, I'm not sure if you'd be interested, but you came to my mind. I think you would, have you ever thought about being a coach on my team? I think you would do awesome and you'd be fun to work with. I'm running a 5-day coach open house about what coaching is. Would you be interested in taking a look? No pressure at all. Just let me know. That's it. I don't send a whole spiel. I send no links to my website. I don't send a link to the group. I ask them. And that brings me to another point. Never add people to groups unless they've said it's okay. I mean, a lot of us have been added to random groups. I get added to eyelash, those unique groups, pretty much on a daily basis, and to these other ones. I've been added to some nail jamboree. I get added to a lot of those. I had to hire someone to actually go through and remove me from all of the groups. You want to know how many I had been added to without my permission? 300. I had never asked. I had been added to 300 different groups. Not one I had been asked to. So that just goes to show you. And you know what a pain? I had to pay someone to take me out of all those groups because I was getting so frustrated, by clicking and getting the unfollow that, I finally just hired someone because I was just that annoyed. So don't ever do that. And because it just is the biggest turnoff ever. So make sure you invite them and you let them know you are adding them to a group so that they're not, they don't get ticks like I did, because it was a huge turnoff. And I'm all about supporting people's businesses. I think being an entrepreneur is awesome, but there is a right way and a wrong way. And I don't agree with that way. So definitely don't do that. The last way I'm going to talk about recruiting is just do an ad. You can do an ad on Facebook if you have a like page. I know ads can be expensive, but guys, you can boost a post for $10. So don't feel like you have to do an ad. I do an ad and I do spend money on it, but you can also boost posts. I've done that. And I did that when I didn't have very much of a budget. And I had good success with it. And I can type up an ad for you and you are welcome to use it. Just customize it to fit you. And you can do don't put a link to the group though. because unless it's your own, coach group, you're not going to know who added that. So if somebody get requested and we have a bunch of coaches in this particular group, you're not going to know that person, responded to your ad. You can tell them to message you, friend request you, or feel free to run your own group. You can do that. I'm just saying that we tend to have over 100 people in our open house, and there'd be no way you knew who clicked the link. So that's another way to get people, coaches on your team. So again, I'm just going to recap the 4 different ways to recruit. Challengers in your current challenge group. Look for those shining stars or those people that are having good success. Opportunity posts. So, just saying what Beachbody's done for you. And then, interacting with the likes and comments on there, messaging those people. I really think private messaging is the way to go. I wouldn't do a big post on Facebook like, join my Beachbody team, blah, blah, blah. I think that people, they don't feel that sense of relationship, and this is a relational business. It's really about behind the scenes. Third, send a PM to, a personal message to people you think would be good on your team. Yeah, they're cold invites, but they're people you know and people that you would want to work with. So message them. The last way is an ad. Boost a post or run an ad, either way. But don't feel like you have to spend a ton of money. If you have the money to spend, you can spend like $50 to $100 and run a full-fledged ad. If you're not ready to make that commitment, then just boost a post for $10, $10 to $20 on your page and do it that way. So there's definitely, that gives you some different ways to add people. I know our open house starts tomorrow, but you can still add people late. I leave them up for a little while, and I add people late all the time, and I just say, hey, the open house is already 2 days in, or it just ended, whichever, whenever you're talking to that person, but I'm going to add you, I'll add you in, and the posts are numbered. So just start with the first, post number 1, and then go to post number 2, and then let me know what you think. The other important thing is, and this is included in the document that I will post along with the recording of this call, is you need to interact with them behind the scenes. You can't just dump them in and then expect them to message you. I would recommend messaging them and just saying, hey, hey, Sarah, how, what do you think of were you able to find the group? Did you see the posts? And just make sure that she at least saw it. Because I actually had someone one time and they didn't even see the group. They were probably in a lot of eyelash groups, so they just couldn't find it in the list. But so I just asked them, I was like, did you see it? And she's like, no, I didn't. I didn't think you added me. So, good thing I followed up with her. So make sure that you're checking in with them, but not stalking them. So make sure they can see the posts. And then the next thing I do is I follow up with them and I say, hey, how, what do you think so far? Or after it's over, you can say, so what do you think? Do you have any questions? And just keep it really simple. Remember, you always want to keep your messages short and sweet. 2 to 4 sentences. Don't do anything longer, because otherwise people will not read it. Think about it. I've said this so many times with everything. You get a long message that's more than your phone, or it's the length of your phone, and what do? You're like, I'll read that later, or your eyes just I literally am like, what? I can't read all this right now. I gotta wait. And then what do? You forget. So you need to make sure it's short and sweet. Short, simple, and sweet. So 2 to 4 sentences. Mm-hmm. It can be a little longer if you can, but just make sure that you are keeping it short and simple, because I have an iPhone 6. I don't have a big old Plus or whatever. And so, I need it to fit on my phone. So make sure it fits in the messenger of your phone. And just remember, you got to take chances, and you got to get uncomfortable in this business to be successful. Once I started doing that and I just got out there, I have really seen success. Do I get unfriended? Absolutely. I get unfriended by friends. I actually have been unfriended a few times in the last week by friends. And I really, I had to realize they're not super close friends. They're just people I've known. But they didn't like the positivity that I was doing on my Facebook. And they also, I had people unfriend me when I went to Europe. I know I've told a few of you about that before, because they didn't like that either. And I was hurt. But then at the same time, I have to remember those are not the kind of people I want to work with. I don't want to work with people that aren't happy for other people when they see other people successful. That's not what I want. I love and thrive on other people being successful. I want to see other people, get new cars. Like I just saw a single mom today. She's not a coach of mine or anything, but she's someone I know that has she's been working her rear off, put herself through school, and I just saw that she bought a brand new car. And I could not be more happy for her. I was like, good for her. And she had her daughter standing in front of the car. I was proud of her. And I love seeing stuff like that. I want to see people be successful. I saw another friend who's on an amazing vacation in Hawaii right now. Am I jealous? Yeah. I'm like, oh, I wish I was in Hawaii. That'd be awesome. But I'm happy for her. Her and her family are making memories. And that's what it's about. So, I had to really look at it and think like, well, I'm not attracting those people anyways. They're not people that probably would like working with me. They probably get really annoyed with me. So just remember that if you're going to get defriended, you're going to get told no. It's okay. And it doesn't happen that often. It's just, it happens a couple of times and you feel really burned. But don't let other people's judgments or criticisms of you affect what you do because you are helping people. We have a positive business. Just imagine if I would have thrown in the towel when I was told when I first started, I can't believe you're doing that pyramid scheme and peddling shakes. Okay. We would still be in debt up to our eyeballs. My husband would still be working 70 to 80 hours a week. I probably would be having to take a job outside the home and paying an arm and a leg for daycare right now. And I would still have an extreme amount of medical problems because my daughter, she is healthy because of Beachbody. I used money that I made from Beachbody and I got her alternative care that our insurance would not cover. And if I wouldn't have done that and made that leap of faith, I wouldn't have been able to afford or had the resources to pay for those alternative cares that she's had and that I still paid for. So, there's so many different things that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have gone to Europe. I wouldn't have this amazing team of people that I love working with. So know that all came from getting out of my comfort zone and saying, other people are going to think what they want to think. And really what matters, and I've told you guys this before, is what God thinks. This is for me. You have to figure out who you answer to. God thinks, my husband, and those 3 kids, because I committed to taking care of those 3 kids, and I will do what needs to be done to take care of them. And I've also committed to taking care of you guys and being there for you. So as I'm not going to let what somebody else says, or if somebody tells me no, I'm not going to take it personally. So just know that. And when you're going out there, you're going to hear no's, you're going to hear criticism, and that's okay. But what about those people that say yes and that need your help and are just sitting there waiting for an answer? So just, I don't know how many times I can tell you guys this. Jessie reaching out to me, being a random person she didn't know at my daughter's dance class when I was below low, like rock bottom low at that point in my life. And she didn't even know that, but just her taking the time to talk to me and inviting me to get healthy and fit and then inviting me to be a coach changed my life. And I am forever grateful for that girl. And she did that because she stepped out of her comfort zone and didn't care what other people thought. She just was on a mission to help people, and she did. And she helped me. And in turn, I've paid that forward. So that's what I have for you tonight. Go out and invite people and really lead with your heart and think about who you want to work with. Who do you want on your team, and invite those people, and don't be scared of the no's. You got to go through that to get the yeses. All right. Who has a question? Anybody? I'm going to go ahead and unmute the phone. I'm going to unmute everybody because I know with the phones it's a little hard. So hang on a second. All right. Anybody got a question for me?
I've got way too many. I'll talk to you tomorrow about them.
All right. I'm going to remute. Amanda, did you have anything you wanted to say? I know you sent me a text, or is it pretty loud?
Yeah, I just said I was going to challenge my team to all invite 5 people before bed tonight. Just
Yeah,
to throw them in tomorrow's thing and just do it, like 5 people, and then just close Facebook and check it in the morning. Maybe they'll answer you back. No pressure.
that is awesome. And I'm going to put that challenge out to all of you too. I think that is a great challenge. After you get off this call, I'm going to disconnect the call, invite 5 people, like she said, shut your Facebook, and then check it in the morning. I think that is an excellent idea. I'll post the invites right after I shut the call down, and so you can use those. But do it. 5 people. That's awesome.
I think if you don't put it away, you get all anxious while you, after you send the first one, like, did anyone answer me? Is anyone going to say anything back? And it makes you overthink it. So if you just pick 5, it's not so threatening. And then maybe tomorrow, if it goes well, you'll be encouraged to do 5 more.
Awesome. I love it, girl. That's awesome. All right.
Okay, mute because I'm in Target.
All right. Meeting you. All right, Justin, what's your question?
Is it okay if I do that in the morning? Because it is, 10 something here now?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're going to pull the
10:24.
East Coast card on me, are ya?
It's not my fault. I can't help that it's like way late here.
All right, but you have a call with me tomorrow, so it better be done before my call with you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you get off the hook for being the East Coast, and I know your wife is waiting for you. But the rest of you, do it. It only take 5 minutes, okay? Just do it. Just send 5 invites. I know you know people you're thinking of, but you might just be intimidated. Another thing I'll add is it's always the people that kind of make you want to throw up a little bit to send it. You know, you think about sending an invite and you're like, man, that makes me sick to my stomach because they're just going to tell me no. Those are usually the people that say yes and turn out to be your best coaches. So don't hold back. Go for it. And I cannot wait to see what happens. And definitely post once you've sent your invites, post in Team 360. I just sent 5 invites. And if you do more, that's awesome. But post in there that you did it. And everybody that does, I will do a drawing on. I'm going to hold this contest until Friday. All right. So every time you do a batch of 5, I want you to comment in Team 360 and I'll put you in a drawing for a sweet prize. All right. I got a box of prizes I ordered and I can't wait to give them out. So let's do it. Okay.
I hope one's a plastic trophy. Oh my God, I love those.
Darn it. I'll have to order you one. All right, everybody. Well, have a good night and thank you again for coming. Bye.
Thank you, Tanya. Good night.
Good night.